going. And again, they're already in here. I should squirrel away some stuff from me to her, right? Because she's new. So I just have her carry these damn mucoid shells because I could care less about these things. And they are heavy. And I'm going to sort by weight. Like so. Notice that I have scrolls. Nothing wrong with that. And she has 2 of those revivify, which is awesome. And I have 1. That doesn't mean I want to give her both or all 3. I'll keep one because if she dies, I need to have this so I can really click on her. I still think, though, you can steal stuff off of the bodies of your teammates after they fall down, but I don't want to risk it. Same with, like, potions of healing she has, too. I'm fine with that because I have at least a couple, 5. And again, when we get more teammates, I'll spread them out. But that's pretty good. And again, my ability to fling out things like my caustic bulb or grease spell in a bottle, which is basically what this is. Notice that when you do these things are also going to be environmental, and therefore you can probably set them on fire, for instance. So that's going to come in super handy. Okay. Some bodies. All right. Let's do a quick save since we just leveled up here too. Okay, we got a body over here. Again, notice the stuff on the ground. Mysterious liquid. This vivid briny fluid reacts to any heat that comes near it. So again, letting you know, set it on fire. Taking all that. Here, looks like there's a path up this way. I don't think I want to go over there. There doesn't appear to be anything that way. Let's go this way first. Basically the other side of the ship. Kind of work our way around. Yeah, there's an intellect bar, but it looks like it's dead. Some stuff just don't show up, so just because it doesn't light up with your alt button doesn't mean it's not there to click. So, if something looks obvious, feel free to go and click the damn thing. Those are these tools. Okay, wooden trunk that's locked, but again, until we get a row, we can't pick it. You might be able to bash it. Oh, now notice this clam right here, clamshell. Not that it's important, I'm just saying it's something else that, again, unless you know to click it, probably wouldn't have noticed it. Nothing else in here. Alright, now let's travel on. And come back for that, or try to remember to. I wish that they would have stuff like that you could tag in the game, like let you know, oh, I forgot this, or oh, hey, there was a treasure door over here, or like a little map thing that you can add, like a icon or whatever, like notes to your map for that matter. Okay, so now here's a chance. See how we have I hear somebody. Sorry. See how there's a chance to get down there, though? We could jump down there and see what's available. Ew, that looked nasty. Oh, here's a guy. Let's quick save. So we talk to this fool. What up, fool?
Hurry. I've got one of those brain things cornered.
You do you?
There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Easily. Stand back. I'll handle it, citizen.
There. Can you see it?
Piggy.
Just a dumb boar. You're relieved. Until you see the flash of a dagger.
Perception. Just a dumb boy. Put away, we don't need to fight.
Don't we? I saw you in the ship.
Your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me.
Scuttling about. You're in league with them, aren't you? Those tentacle...
Your mind
my brain.
twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light. The fear.
What was that? What's going on?
Pull the knife away and I'll tell you everything.
I'm not an idiot. It has to be those tentacled monsters. Something they did. They took you too. I saw it during whatever just happened. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
Apology accepted. I might have done the same, or the roles reversed.
A kindred spirit.
Indeed.
My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
Baldurian as well. Introduce yourself. You're a Baldurian too.
Is that so? We clearly move in different circles. So, do you know anything about these worms?
Yes, unfortunately, they'll turn us into mind flayers.
Turn us into... Of course it'll turn me into a monster. What else did I expect? Although, it hasn't happened yet. If we can find an expert, someone that can control these things, there might still be time.
Control it. We need to get rid of it.
Well, yes, of course. But first things first.
Well, you should travel with me. Our odds are better together.
You know, I was ready to go this alone. But maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
Do trust this guy. Notice that he's ready to level up as well. Of course, we should actually look at his sheet first. Let's see what we got to work with here. So we are working with a rogue. Padded armor. Notice he gets his dexterity bonus up to a +3. So that's giving him extra armor, I'm sure. So why he's at a 14 instead of like an 11. He does have a +3 from dexterity. His dexterity being 17 is just one shy of getting it to a +4. He's not very bright. He's okay for con, an odd number for 3 different stats, kind of weird. Strength of 12. Good news is in this game, if he's using a finesse weapon, which basically means a light weapon, dexterity-based weapon in most cases, like the dagger that he has in his hand, if he uses his dexterity modifier, it's higher than his strength, they don't need weapon finesse. They actually get to use their dexterity modifier for their swing and for their damage. So again, dexterity is way OP in this game. For those that want a solid first run, highly recommend you make a dex-based build. It doesn't have to be a rogue. It could be a dex-based wizard. It could be a dex-based... they don't have sorcerers yet, but that'd be a solid choice. Of course, the ever-popular tiefling... what was I thinking the name of the class? Warlock, there it is. For dex-based Warlock would be a solid choice. Again, you can see the appeal. And there's dex-based fighters for that matter. Again, just because I'm an Eldritch Knight, or going to be, doesn't mean that I couldn't have been a dex-based build. This would have been actually a solid build for him, or for a dex-based build if it weren't for the fact that intelligence is too low for an Eldritch Knight. So again, decent choices. Notice he has a cantrip, and that's because of the kind of being he is. I won't go into that, but notice that he is considered elven, a high elf no less, and that's part of this cantrip. Notice he has sneak attack range and sneak attack melee, and again, those are something that he gets to use over here. So those are different actions that he'll have instead of just a direct attack, but there's stuff that unlocks that, so to speak, like makes it work. I assume, it says 1d4 plus 3 plus 1d6 of damage. I assume that that damage goes up over time, but I've yet to see that, so I don't know that off the top of my head. But notice that he's basically a rogue type. Now, of course, we level him up, keep track of stuff again before you say accept. No extra points, no surprise there. He's up to a max 15 HP now. That's not amazing. He does have this now, cunning action dash. Notice that this is a bonus action. Double your movement speed for the current turn. And that literally allows him to be super zippy. But I believe That dash does not allow him to attack in the same combat round, but that's something that we will discuss together. Now he's ready to rock and roll. And we're back on the team. And now remember, he is a rogue proper, so remember that box we just passed up on? Right down here, team. We'll also offload some gear to him, since he's relatively light. Notice that he has thief tools. Obviously, he's the thief's tool guy. I think I have another one of those somewhere. Yeah, there. And a rapier is a finesse weapon, so we're going to slap that over to him as well. See that? Silver locket for Papa. Aw, that sucks. Alright, so let's actually organize this stuff again. Notice he has a longsword right now. See how it's versatile? Oops, sorry. No, he doesn't. You gotta click on his portrait. See that? Now it's him. See how he has a dagger. It is a light weapon, finesse and dippable, and it does a slash action. But now I can give him the rapier, which does 1d8 damage, same range. It's finesse. It's not light. I'm sure that has something to do with a two-weapon wield, I'm sure. But still, he's only one weapon wielding right now. And he still has the slash function, so why not give him the upgraded version, in my opinion? So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to equip that one. Okay, we'll keep the dagger. It's light-ish. And therefore not going to be an issue. But is there anything else I'd like to give him? Like, maybe if the poop hits the fan, we'd like to have some caustic bulbs on him. He already has his own potions of healing, thank God. Barbed Device, let's give him one of those. Sure, why not? And... no. Somebody's short bow. I'll pass one because I don't know that he has a bow on hand. Yes, he does. Okay, so he doesn't need one. But that's okay. He can carry the extras. I think that's the key we used to unlock our big box before. We give him a void bulb as well, because those come in handy. From here, let's just tidy stuff up. Again, we're doing good on weight. Pretty happy about that. If you want to pick a lock, let's quick save. If you want to pick a lock, you're more than welcome to try with any rogue type. Notice it's right here under lockpick. You have to have lockpicks to do this, I believe. He has 2 sets right now, and you're like, why does he need 2 sets? Well, the good news is in this game, if you fail on a lockpick check, you lose a set of lockpicks. So this is something you probably want to scum save early on until you start getting some familiarity with can you make the check, can you not, kind of thing. This might also be the same for when you disarm traps. It's a different set of tools. It's called a Disarming Trap Kit or something similar. And again, you can get multiples of those. I assume, again, on a failure, that you would lose one of the kits. I don't know that, but it makes sense. If you can do it for lockpicks, why wouldn't you do it for the disarming of the traps? And again, that means that you're going to give your rogue, whoever he or she may be, that kind of stuff. So you always want to make sure to have an extra set, just in case you really want what's inside there, right? So let's actually lockpick this bad boy. Unlock. And taking it all. And again, just to show you, he still has his 2 sets of thieves tools. Notice we have a leather helmet. Bonus to dexterity saving throws. That's awesome, but I definitely want to be the guy with that one. And he's holding my money for reasons that just I cannot fathom. So, back to me. Make sure to click on the picture of the character you want to control before you start doing stuff like equip it. Okay, now if I look at my portrait, you see now that I have my helmet on. My dexterity saving throws just went up. I don't see anything that shows the saves. Unless I'm just blind. But I don't. It's kind of a shame. Spell DC's at 12. And again, why is it at 12, by the way? Because it has to do with my intelligence modifier. Remember, my intelligence is only a 14. It's a +2. That's why. If you open these up, by the way, you can see all the bonuses you have. Notice I have Arcana and History bonus. That's why it's at +4 and +4. Everything else is at a 2, 2, and a 2. Because I just happen to be smart. But it's not an amazing +2. Notice for like Wisdom, and everything's at basically nothing. except for my perception, which is a +2, and that's because I have skill in perception. Right? So I want to be able to spot my hidden treasures and my traps and stuff. I can't tell you what the best skills are going to be in the game, but I can almost guarantee that perception is going to be useful at least on one or more teammates, and then from there you probably want to have someone with good arcana, which that's me right now, and then you probably want somebody, cut back from the ship. You probably want somebody that's got good persuasion skills. But now the problem with this all is, just to pause the game while we talk about this, the problem with that is the chances that you are the arcana guy, the lock-picking guy, the persuasion guy, the perception guy, all in one build is pretty slim. It's not that it can't happen, but it's going to be very slim pickings for your skills and your abilities, because persuasion, for example, is going to be a charisma bump. Perception is going to be a wisdom bump. Arcana is going to be something that comes from high intelligence. And I'm forgetting that. Oh, the lock picking, for example, the pocket picking, etc. and so forth. All that stuff is going to come from having a high dexterity. You're probably not going to get all 4 of those stats that high, let alone the other 2, the strength and the con. So you kind of got to be choosy. And this is, again, another reason I love these types of games, because it's not made for solo play. I'm sure, give it a month, someone will have a solo build and say, just pick up the team when they show up, strip them of all their gear so you can sell it, and then park them in the fucking ship and leave them there for time immemorial, and then run solo. And they'll show you how to do it. I don't doubt that there'll be someone that can. But it's not me. And this team plays smooth enough with a turn-based combat that there's no reason to, right? So, end rant. Quick save. If we go inside this mess, I'll hold the Alt button down. When I get my first cantrip, I'm going to be so happy. Which, on that matter of fact, now that I think about it, it's her level 1 spell. See the pip showing up over here? There's 3 juices a day of spells. She can cast Create Water right now. It uses a pip. I can create it on top of this fire and make the fire go out, for instance. For those of you who are wondering what that spell would actually be used for, besides the obvious. We're going this way. No, we've already been that way. Okay. No need to Mind Flayer, though. With stuff. Oops. Daddy Mind Flayer for all your thingies.
Footprints. There may be even more that survived the crash.
Roadside cliffs. This is where I think we're going to get our other companion. Yep. Nice.
You're alive. That's unexpected. Last I saw you, you were lying in a crucible's worth of blood. An intellect devourer nibbling at your ear. Glad to see my eyes deceive me. I'm Gale. Well met.
Well met. You're on the ship as well, I presume.
Very same. A traumatizing experience, if an instructive one.
Instructive? What makes you say that?
Nautiloids are incredibly rare vessels, a mind flayer colony's most guarded secret, and a gift pack's greatest prize. Not to mention, you're staring at me like a Rashimi at a blackboard. You're no wizard, are you?
Not yet. No, I'm no wizard.
Pity. But that'll have to wait. The primary need now is a healer. I take it you recall the insertion of the parasite?
I recall it, yes, vividly.
Are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it'll turn us into mind flayers? A process known as ceremorphosis? It is to be avoided. I assume you're no accomplished healer either. Powerful cleric, maybe?
Can't say that I am.
Then we'll have to find one. And fast. You and I are in a whole lot of trouble. We need help, and I'm not sure where we'll find it in this wilderness. How about we embark on the quest for a healer together?
That sounds like a plan. You're welcome to join me.
Most excellent. Then, without further ado, let's be off. Besides, looks like you keep some interesting company. A woman with shadows for eyes, deep as the dark lake. Pleasure, madam.
Is it indeed? We'll see.
Stop flirting with my woman. I saw her first. I called dibs. You can romance characters, by the way. He actually, although I want to say that he is a wizard right now, I want to say that he's probably built for being more of a sorcerer later in the game when they finally release it. It just feels like he should be. Which means they'll probably flip-flop his intelligence with his charisma. As far as his stats are concerned, again, dex-based build, nice con for concentration checks, intelligence bonus, of course, for his spells, as well as, be able to cast up to level 6 spells right now, even though he can't obviously do that yet. We'll need this high if we really want to be able to cast the best spells for him. Nice charisma on him, which is kind of weird. I mean, it's not a stat that he gives a rat's ass about. And as you can see, as far as stuff that he's invested in, nothing here. All these are +1 because his charisma is 13. Wisdom, he does have a bonus to insight, as you can see here. And again, with a wisdom of 11, that really is a bonus to insight. So his wisdom isn't adding anything to that right now. Intelligence-wise, though, here's where he really shines. So he's okay at Arcana. And again, literally, when I say okay, he really is okay, because he's the +3 is all coming from intelligence. Same with history, same with nature and religion. But he's really good at investigation. So he really has a nice +2 extra on top of that +3. That's not bad. Con, he has nothing in con, which I don't think there's any skills in con. Makes sense. Acrobatics, now he has a high dexterity, but again, that's just a +2. That's why these are all +2. So nothing special there. Strength, athletics -1, and again, his strength is at a penalty. Not surprising. So really, his takeaway really is his high investigation and his high, where did it go? Insight. That's really what he's capitalizing on. His skill, or spells, excuse me, right now are Witch Bolt, Thunder Wave, Sleep, and Grease. Solid choices. Notice he has 3 cantrips already of Firebolt, Mage Hand, and Ray of Frost. That's going to come in super handy. Arcane Recovery allows him to take back a certain number of spells a day. I used this the other day. Thought this was going to be recover all my spells, but that's almost pie in the sky dreaming. Turns out that at the level that I used it at, I'm not sure what level it was at the time, probably level 3. I was able to get back 2 level 1 spells or 1 level 2 spell. So they actually gave you a choice. So be clear on that one. But that's cool. And as you can see, we're ready to level him up, so let's do so. So he is a wizard proper. Notice that he has spells of Featherfall and Ray of Sickness being added to his list, which are down here, which we can customize. We can prepare spells differently as well, so we can customize that on the fly. I recommend you do so. He's at 14 HP now. We have to choose between Abjuration or Evocation School. Notice that the spells down here change as a result. So if we go Abjuration, it's suggesting that you grab Protection from Evil and Good and Jump, a spell that allows him to, or anybody can cast it on, I think, 3 times as far. Which is pretty baller if you want to have some decent combat mobility. Evocation, on the other hand, I mean, Featherfall and Ray of Sickness. Ray of Sickness being a nice poison attack at range. Featherfall, probably more used for when you really do fall to the ground. It automatically activates or something is my guess. I don't know this off the top of my head, but I'm assuming that it allows you to go ooh and fall down to the ground. It says of allied creatures, though, so maybe it's you and the whole damn team. But the point is we can customize, so you don't have to pick these spells. So just take the 2 from this list that you want, is my advice to you. Those are our choices. I'm just going to go through these slowly. Burning Hands, Charm Person, Color Spray, Disguise Self, Expeditious Retreat, False Life, Feather Fall, Find Familiar. It allows us to have an attacking pet, by the way, which is kind of cool. It gives you other things too, depending on the type of pet you get. Jump, and again, you need to choose when you cast the spell, I should say. Jump, Long Strider. Notice that this is just a flat 10-foot increase versus, say, Expeditious Retreat, which is, I want to say 30 feet increase, like doubling your speed. But notice this one's concentration is required. This one doesn't have that penalty. You cast it, now you're faster. You move farther. Magic Missile, which you better believe I'm grabbing that shit. Protection from Evil and Good, and Ray of Sickness. Now, again, I want Magic Missile for obvious reasons. Auto hit is auto. That's what I was told. Of these other ones, I can't tell you. And again, doesn't much matter because he is a wizard proper. Any of these spells that you have in scroll form, you can pass him in for 50 to $100 or more a piece. He can scribe them into his book. And you may say, why does it cost money to scribe a spell into his spellbook? It's for the rare inks and the parchment and the specialties that he needs to take the time to scribe it properly. This is something that's always been in D&D. It's not a new thing. So they've trivialized this in most CRPGs, where it's just you scribe it and you have it, you scribe it and you have it. It's just, you know, uses up the scroll in most cases. Pathfinder Kingmaker being a fine example. In this one, I like the fact that they charge us, and it's $50 for level 1 spells I found. At level 2 spells, it cost us $100. I'm guessing it just goes up from there. So I don't know if it's a doubling each time, because that's going to get pricey at level 3 and on up. Maybe it's only a $50 increase per level, so it's 50 gold per level, and I'd be still fine with that. But it's going to add to the flavor of the game, in my opinion. Because again, then you have to decide, are you going to burn a lot of money on your wizard? He's not your main character. You're your main character. Why would you give all your money to this doofus just so we can have better spells? Well, if he keeps the team alive, wasn't it worth it? And everybody's different on this. What to grab for the other spell, though? I can't tell you. And again, I don't know what the best one is. I just know me. I do like, you know, temp HP is always nice. Featherfall could be fun to play with. Find Familiar is going to have some utility in that we have another teammate, technically speaking, that you can control. I believe you can control him and the wizard at the same time, but I don't know that, so this might be a good reason to learn that trick. But maybe we should just go offensive, get something extremely useful. Notice how this one blinds multiple targets, up to a combined 33 HP, so again, there's a cap. Same with our sleep spell, which we already have on our book, which I'll show you here in a moment. But it would be nice to have some AoE loving. So let's get some Burning Hands. Now, once we're done with your choices, say done. Notice that up here we need to customize still for the spells we actually have learned. They're saying you want these 5. No, no, no. Let's take them all off. And now with our new 2 spells, we can repick stuff. So first off, you know you want Mage Armor, right? I mean, that's a solid buff. He wears robes. He's got an armor class right now of 12. Why? 10 base, 2 because of his dexterity modifier. That's it. He's got a 12. So this, because again you can't wear armor and use this spell. See that? It says surround a creature in a protective magical force. Its armor increases by +3. Prerequisite, not wearing armor, which he doesn't wear. So if he casts this on himself until he rests again that day, he will have a +3 to his armor class. This is the kind of mage armor you'd want to have. Not this 1 hour per caster level bullshit. No, fuck that. No, this is just, you have it till I take a nap. That's awesome. So you definitely want one of those. Definitely want a magic missile. I want that Burning Hands because we grabbed it for that reason. Other utility stuff in here. Witch Bolt's not bad. It's a concentration spell, but it's basically, instead of just being a flash in the pan damage like I'm getting from my Burning Hands AoE style or my magic missile, which is single target, or not single target, but single cast and you're done. Witch Bolt is a concentration spell, so if you want to do continuous damage to the same target every fucking round until it dies or you get your concentration broken or you die, Witch Bolt's your way to go. So we're going to grab it, and then from there, let's grab a utility spell. Do we want to put things to sleep? Notice that it has a cap, 24 HP. That means if you come across guys that are all 25 HP or above, they're immune to this spell. That's fine. Right now, we're probably going to be okay, and you will find multiple dudes that are at like 24, 22, 16. So again, you're not going to sleep more than maybe a guy. If you get lucky, maybe they got like dogs. Those will have like a health of 6. You sleep a pack of fucking mutts. That's like 4 dogs you put in nappy nap bye-bye time for a short amount of time, allowing your team to capitalize on that shit. So you can see the appeal. But I'm a big fan, and always have been, of the Grease spell. For 2 reasons. 1, it's amazing slippy slide spell, nice AoE. 2, you can rely on what it really does. You know, they fall down, they get back up. They fall down, they get back up. It's going to be what's going to happen to them. Now, maybe they get out of it. Notice it's difficult terrain, which means they move slow through it. So it's a nice choke point spell. And something that they don't tell you in the spell until you cast it and cover over the effect of the grease, you can set Grease spell on fire, son. That shit's power. And that's another reason I love that spell. So now we say that, we say done. Those are all picked now. We have our evocation subclass, even though it didn't really matter, I don't think, as far as that's concerned. We repicked spells, but these are all evocation spells, so I'm still cool with that. And again, now that we're done with all that, you just say, well, of course, scroll up and down to prove to yourself that you're done. We are. Press accept. Alrighty. Oh, that's some sexy times. Now, if you go click this here, notice you see the overgrown ruins here. I believe we have waypoints and we can teleport to those waypoints. Notice we have a camp, overgrown ruins, and roadside cliffs as choices. And I don't see the camp on the map, so I'm assuming our camp is like a wherever you plop down, so to speak. Like it's its own waypoint that's not even really on the map, so to speak. And I say that because of this. Let me show you something else. For gear, notice, like, say I don't want to have this with me right now. You see how I can send it to the camp? And again, I've never been to any camp, so how would I know where the hell that camp is at? See what I'm saying? So again, there's always that possibility that the camp is like this ethereal place, so to speak. And I know that's a terrible explanation, but basically it's just you have a camp. Just know that there is a camp somewhere for you. You don't have to physically walk to it. When you say time to go to camp and rest for the full long rest day, you just literally say go to camp. Period. That's all you have to do. And you go to camp. Done. Pretty easy. From here, I do want to pass off a dagger to him just in case he don't have one. He doesn't. He has a quarterstaff. Notice he doesn't have a. Well, you don't notice because we haven't looked at him yet. Notice that he. Gotta make sure I'm on the right picture. As a wizard, does not have a ranged weapon, but he has those cantrips. Remember, Firebolt, Mage Hand, and Ray of Frost, and of course his Arcane Recovery action. That'll be what he attacks with from range. Remember, he's got a dex-based character. Now, we've gone on for about 2 hours, so this is probably a good stopping point. I'll cut this, like I said, into about 4 different vids, and then we'll continue on, I'm sure, today as well. But I want to put everybody back where we belong, and maybe get a little bit more travel to connect the roads, so to speak. Anything over here? Doesn't appear to be. Yeah, we'll stop over here by the temple. Be a perfect spot. Because then we'll know where we're at and what we're doing. Chapel entrance. Okay. And you notice it was below where she was at, remember? And remember, now we do have a rogue, so we could go back downstairs here and pick that lock, probably go in through the basement. But we still might want to check what's upstairs first, and we can probably get into there other ways, like we told her. So that's still a viable option. That's probably the way we're going to do it. But with that, my name's Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you think. Again, hopefully everything's working like we want. The sound, the visuals, you know, the relative gameplay, and the little snippets of 30-minute increments of gameplay. But with that, I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.